my boss gave this ultimatum to pick between, his position for me and then my dream. 17 years old, it was a no-brainer. My mom signed me out of high school, allowed me to drop out, and then her and my dad both supported me in my decision to move from Massachusetts to Greenville, North Carolina to train with Dave Mira and the other pros. BMX was my outlet. It was my escape, and it was where I put my energy and my expression of creativity. And by the time I got into my junior year, or sophomore year actually, it just took over. I stopped playing school sports, entering amateur contests, making a little bit of money here and there, and winning free parts. And around my junior year, I entered the DO Tour professionally now and was competing around the country and making a name for myself. But I was also working a landscaping job that I actually enrolled in the technical high school, to work 2 weeks landscaping or whatever technical field you're in, and then 2 weeks academics. And in my mind, that was less school for me, and I could make money and I could travel with it to compete. But I got an ultimatum from my boss one day. Summertime was our heavy time for BMX and the season and work. And I was taking a lot of Fridays and Mondays off to travel these contests, and my mom was coming to some of them with me. And it was my boss gave this ultimatum to pick between, his position for me and then my dream. And 17 years old, it was a no-brainer. I was just like, I knew I had the opportunity of a lifetime, and I wouldn't be able to start this journey at 30, 40 years old because of the physical aspect of it. And then, I'd probably get out of it, get sucked into a job, and maybe have a family and all these things, and I would just be obligated to not go after my dreams. So my mom signed me out of high school, allowed me to drop out, and then her and my dad both supported me in my decision to move 13 hours south from Massachusetts to Greenville, North Carolina to train with Dave Mira and the other pros.
Didn't your mom forget that she had to sign you out of school?
So she signed me out after. So what happened was I was actually visiting my buddy Matt Troy in Greenville. He was going to ECU, and he specifically picked that school so he could ride. But he was letting me stay with him for a little bit, and we forgot that school had started. I was on a road trip after I had left my job. I was just out there just visiting, no intention of moving there at this time. And my mom forgot that I had school, and I got a letter in the mail saying I was expelled because I missed the first 30 days in a row, and that they were like, hey, you can come back next year. And I remember I was like, I'm just going to stay here with Matt. And it was cheap to live. And him and I drove back. He's from Cape Cod as well. So we drove back to Cape Cod for, I think it was Thanksgiving that year. And my mom went and signed me out, signed me to drop out, approved me to drop out of high school and not return and all that. And
that's so crazy.
Matt and I moved my stuff down into his apartment, where I was renting a little space in a storage closet, the blow-up mattress, with my clothes on the side, my shoes up top, and my bike downstairs. And that's how I moved to Greenville. It was got expelled from school after I quit my job, and I was like, all right, well, let's do this, And I'd gone on a tour for a month with Brian Christie, Johnny Deadweiler, and a couple other dudes, and made I think $5 or $6 grand in that month, just all expenses paid for, and made $5 or $6 grand on top of it. That was over a year's worth of rent in Greenville. So that's just kind of how I moved there, and just went all in on BMX.